It's nothing is there. In our previous webinars, we talked about, or we discussed employee engagement, and how to digitize your training content. Today is going to be all about M4Jam's training technology and the criteria of the SETAs for platforms that host accredited training courses. Good morning. My name is H. van Zyl, and as I said, today we're going to talk about the criteria for platforms that host accredited courses. First of all, what does M4Jam do? We offer a mobile solution for training. Our technology is SETA compliant. It was designed for smartphones, so training can be completed on a smartphone anytime and anywhere. So our app offers cost-effective communication, so at the fraction of the price that you used to pay when it came to traditional training. Now, technology or the platform consists of two sections. The digital classroom, where the learner can have access to all the training, complete these training courses, load evidence up, etc. And the learner management system. The learner management system is the administration portal, as we call it, ensure that all documentation, instructions from the facilitator, the assessor, the moderator can be uploaded. Now, the person that's responsible for these will be the administrator. So we're going to have a look at the roles. First of all, our training provider. The training provider, using our platform, obviously the course is accredited, the course gets loaded up onto the platform. They supply us with assessor guides, moderation guides, all the necessary memorandums, the workbooks, assessments, and also the SETA documents. And all of these get loaded onto the LMS system for access by anyone. So the person responsible for this is the administrator. The administrator has access to the LMS system where he or she can load all the documents. Also the training activities, assessments, formative and summative assessments, etc. All of those can be loaded onto the LMS system, and then they can access it via the digital classroom. The administrator can also generate reports for formative and assessment reports and give it to the assessor or to the moderator. And obviously the administrator complies with requests from the facilitators, the assessors, and the moderators. Now the learner have access to the digital classroom where they can download their learner guide, their workbooks, the assessor guide onto their device, and they also complete the daily activities on the in the digital classroom. They can complete formative and summative assessments, and like I said before, they can load up evidence as well. The facilitator can have access to the digital classroom and the LMS. It all depends on the service, on the training provider. What the facilitator can do is download the facilitator guide via the digital classroom, and she or he can also instruct the administrator to upload daily training activities, and that includes sections, modules that the learner needs to complete for that day, as well as assessments, formative and summative assessments. The assessor also, once again, all depends on the training provider, can have access to the digital classroom and the LMS system. The assessor can download the guides and the memorandums via the digital classroom, and you can also instruct the administrator on certain tasks that need to be uploaded, assessments, and also supply all the materials to the administrator so the administrator can upload it on the LMS side for the learner to access. The assessor can ask for assessment result reports, that is formative and summative assessment result reports, and those reports is given to the assessor, and the assessor can assess it. Now we get to the moderator. The moderator, once again, can have access to the LMS or to the digital classroom. The moderator can download all the documentation, like a moderation plan, a moderator guide, and also can request certain reports from the administrator, whatever they need, or from the assessor as well. The SETA has got access only to the digital classroom because not a good idea to give somebody else access to the LMS system if it's your administrative portal. So they're going to have access to the digital classroom, and all the documentation that is needed they can download via the digital classroom. So they've got access to all the information. And they can also, you can also supply them with reports or any necessary documentation that they need, additional documentation that they need. Now, let's just look at a quick case study. One of our learnership clients, their challenge was that they had 230 learners that they needed to train during lockdown. They used our technology. All their students had smartphones. They all had a Cell C SIM card, so the app was zero-rated. So all the tasks and everything they did, as soon as they go into the digital classroom, they didn't pay for the data that they used. And the result was that 4,082 tasks, micro-tasks were completed. That is 2 modules, and all of those were completed during lockdown. Now, lastly, just a few frequently asked questions that people always ask is the platform accredited? Platforms cannot be accredited. Only the training course that's on the platform can be accredited. What makes your platform different? It is specially designed for mobile phones as a learning tool. Can I load documents and workbooks on a platform? Yes, all your documents, everything can be loaded onto the platform, either directly or via a link that can be downloaded. How much does it cost the student in data? Like I said, if it's a Cell C SIM card that they use, the app is zero-rated and they pay nothing for it. Can learners upload documents or evidence? Yes, they can. The functionality is there. For instance, if they can upload videos, documentation, checklists, whatever they need to load up, what the criteria is. Does all the SETA accept digital training, digital learning? Some do, but most prefer a blended learning approach. Next question is, how can you authenticity be guaranteed? Each learner has a profile that is password protected. So they've got access, only they've got access to their profile. And how does moderation take place? With automated assessment, what we can do, we can insert hints when we ask the questions or make available to the learner. If they answer a question incorrectly, we can say, please try again, or we can give them a tip or a hint. And say, for instance, it was a true and false question. It could be that we put a hint in where we put 3, give them 1 or 2 answers. So it's just easy then for them to answer the question. Okay, so if anybody needs to contact us and to know more about this, Henny Oosthuizen is our executive in charge of mobile training. His details is on the screen, so you're most welcome to give him a call. And let's just see if there's any questions that I can answer. Doesn't seem there's any questions. Thank you for your time, and our next session will be on the 29th of October, where Henny will speak about mobile training in South Africa. Thank you. Bye-bye.